Wake up, wake up! It's time for another daily planet5D. Episode number 4, Nikon D4 here and gone. Welcome, I'm Planet Mitch, and let's dive right in. Several of you have mentioned in the first 3 videos that you're not exactly too thrilled with the audio and the video quality. I think I've fixed most of the audio. I see the little meter bumping up and down, and I'm not peaking on this particular episode, so I think that's good. In terms of the video right now, what I'm doing is I'm recording with a Logitech webcam. That one right there. See? That's you. I'm using that webcam instead of a 5D Mark III or a 5D Mark II to record the video because, and I'm also using a program called Wirecast, by the way, which is what I used to use or still do use periodically for my live podcasts. But this gives me the opportunity to switch webcams, show my desktop, and do all sorts of cool things right here in front of the computer. And there will be some episodes that I'll record with a 5D, or I'll record with maybe even my iPhone, depending upon where I am at the time. But this gives me the ability to record what I need from the desktop right here, and then upload it straight away, so I don't have to do a whole bunch of editing and stuff. The bad part of that is that right now you're seeing my office, for example, and I'm using the lighting that's in here. I haven't been able to customize the lighting here in the office, and this webcam is only 720p. It's not the best webcam on the market, so work with me a little on that. We're going to improve that in the coming episodes. Now, I have to say goodbye to my good friend, the Nikon D4. I got this from my friends over at LensProToGo last Friday, and I have been testing this like crazy for the last 3 days. And it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have to put it back in the box and get it shipped this afternoon. So this baby's got to go. I'm going to show you a few of the stills I shot in a little bit. There will be some video, by the way, that I will be uploading where I'm going to compare the 5D Mark II, the 5D Mark III, and the Nikon D4 video in terms of moire, sharpness. I didn't get into any of the ISO stuff because I sort of think that's been covered to death by other people. So I thought it was really cool to be able to show the sharpness and the moire issues between the 3 cameras. And now I've got some of that recorded, and I'll be able to use the same locations next time. Anyway, and by the way, that video that we'll upload, I'll have a link in the blog post with or on YouTube with the link to that video. And I want to thank Crumple Pop because I used the Split Screen X plugin that they gave me for Final Cut 10 to make those side-by-side things, and it worked out really well. All right, so a couple of things about the Nikon D4. The big thing that everybody notices, of course, right away is the fact that it's tall. It's got the full body to it in terms of where another camera like the 5D Mark II, obviously it's not the same height, and so it's like it has the grip that the 5D Mark II has, which gives you the ability to have the second shutter button, the second scroll wheel, and the ability to shoot vertically, which is really nice when you're out shooting stills. Obviously, you don't. Some people shoot vertical videos, but that's a whole nother story that we should get into someday. Really nice feel to this. I really like this in my hand. I do have big hands, and even though the 5D Mark II fits really well, I can put my finger on the shutter. I still have all this extra gap down here in my hand. So although it feels good, I really, really like having that full frame where it fits in the heel of my hand and my fingers right on the shutter button. Really very impressed with that, and I may end up having to go get a battery grip for my 5D Mark III because I'm sort of addicted now. Look and feel of that is very cool. A couple of things I didn't like. One of the things, for example, is in order to open the door for the SD cards and the CF card, you actually have to lift this up and press this button to get it to open. I'm not quite too fond of that. I like the way the Canon works there. Now, it's a nitpick, but I didn't like having to do an open and a press. You can do it with one hand. It's not that major, and it does pop open. The second thing that I sort of didn't like about this, which I didn't really 100% realize until I tried to do it, but that second slot, and this is hard to do on a webcam, but that second slot there for the SD card, or for the, isn't really an SD card slot, I shouldn't say. That's the QXD slot, and when you try to put an SD card in there, it's too big. So you end up losing that extra slot unless you go out and buy the XQD memory cards, which also means you have to buy a different reader, which they were giving away for a while, but they're not doing that anymore. So anyway, I had a couple of issues, by the way, with, and it's already gone. I don't know where it went. If you use some of the non-standard cards, CF cards, you've got some real problems. I used 2 different cards, and when you put the card in, the Nikon D4 just sort of goes into memory bliss or something, and it took almost 5 minutes for the card to be recognized by the camera and for the little stopwatch to go away. That was a real pain, and I did some searching on the internet and found out that that's not only true for the Nikon D4, but the D800 has that. When I started using the SanDisk memory cards that I just recently bought that are really high speed, everything was fine after that. But you need to be aware that you may not be able to use some of your older cards. For those of you listening audio only, you'll have to jump over to the blog to see these images. I'm showing a couple of images here that were shot late in the evening of daffodils in my backyard, and pretty low ISO. I've forgotten exactly what ISO was. Very high quality, very sharp, very impressive low ISO images. Now we're jumping over to a little bird shop here in St. Louis. This first image of a parrot. I'm going to show you 100% crop from that same image, and you'll see a lot of fine detail in the feathers and in the eye. And I was very impressed with this particular 35mm Nikon f1.4 lens, and it's really nice to be able to just point and shoot with this camera. I didn't have a lot of trouble with getting some good shots, and the focus was really quite right on. There were a few bad shots, of course. Here's a little green bird that was quite friendly to us. And lastly, another image of the large parrot. Had trouble with the lighting in this building, so some of them were a little off in terms of color and stuff, but very pleased with the Nikon D4 images. I like the Nikon very much, very pleased with the Nikon performance. I still have a learning curve to go through in terms of playing with the Nikons. Shouldn't say playing, should I? Professionally using the Nikons, because again, I haven't been exposed to them before. I did notice that many people have also commented on the web about the video is really pretty soft on the Nikon D4. The D800 has much higher resolution in terms of the video quality, and I even say the 5D Mark III is much sharper, and you'll see that in the video that I post. The Nikon D4 isn't necessarily the great video camera that everybody was hoping for. It does have the several crop factors. It's very sharp in terms of stills. It's a fantastic feeling camera. It shoots like a dream. But unfortunately, I have to pack it back in the box. This is the box the lens came in, to my good friends at LensProToGo. And I'll have more on Nikons coming up in future episodes. That's easy for me to say. Don't forget, if you have any questions that you maybe would like me to answer on the next couple of episodes, shoot me an email at planetmitch@planet5d.com. And thanks again for watching the Daily Planet 5D.